But like, if you were going about launching a private equity firm today, your own investment firm, right? Like what would you do? And like, how would you, because I assume maybe this is wrong. I assume you would build kind of a values and culture first sort of firm, but like you also have to balance like, delivering returns and all this sort of stuff. But I'm curious, like what would you do if you were building your own investment firm?
I mean, it's a really interesting question. And it's something I've thought about because Campminder, fortunately is at a stage in its growth, 23 years in, where we're starting to look at M&A as something that may make sense as a path to continue to grow, but also importantly, as a path to continue to make a bigger impact in the world. We think we're a good company doing good things, and maybe we can have a bigger influence beyond just the influence and the impact that we make today. So how do we differentiate ourselves, and if it were just purely a PE firm, how would we differentiate ourselves? It would be about an authentic interest in understanding what drives the entrepreneur. Why did they get into business in the first place? What do they want out of their business? People have all kinds of different reasons. Like some people are at a point in their career where they've been doing their thing for a long time and they're just kind of ready to be done. Other people, perhaps they started a business, it's growing slower than they hoped. They had a different story in their head about what would be possible, and they don't find themselves surrounded with people who have been entrepreneurs and have been successful and what works and what doesn't work, and they're tired of making mistakes and they want to find a faster path to get from here to there. So I would say first and foremost is like trying to develop a personal connection with an entrepreneur. Very hard to do through cold outreach, because cold outreach can feel like all of the cold outreach. I get cold outreach from PE sourcers, and I get cold outreach from, the person who has like lead gen software and all of the many people who have that, which, I have empathy for salespeople. We sell too. So I don't want to like dismiss people, but you kind of have to when you get overwhelmed by it. So, I would try to find a real connection to the human being beyond just, hey, I see that you're the CEO of Campminder and I see dollar bills in your eyeballs and I want to like capitalize on that. I would rather have a conversation come to me. It's like, hey, it seems like we have a mutual connection in this camp director. Like we know the same people, or to get introduced to me by somebody who is a mutual connection. It's like, hey, I'd like you to meet this person. They're interested in investing, but like that's not really it. They're interested in what you're doing. They want to hear your story. Hopefully that's authentic and not just a tactic. But those would be more successful to me than just another person who I don't know, like seemingly trying to get something from me.
So it sounds like the two things you're kind of recommending, the two things that you would think about is like leveraging network introductions, right? The ability to kind of, work through your network to get in front of somebody. But that the other one I kind of heard was take interest in, or what they're actually doing, right? And like what they're trying to accomplish, and like how can you, I guess to an extent, come to the table and provide value or provide insights on that. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, what is the entrepreneur like? We all have needs, and we're all in different stages of our development and different stages of our growth and different stages of our lives. So, if somebody if somebody who I really believe can help me with what I need shows up, and I genuinely think that they can help me, that's a conversation I'm interested in having. In 2020, when COVID hit and it really had an impact on the camp industry, the whole world, but the camp industry that is only gathering, Campminder wasn't about to like curl into a corner and put ourselves in a ball and like wither away. We actually saw a lot of opportunity arise despite the pain, but we needed strategic partnership to help us figure out financially, how are we going to end up on the other side of this strong? How are we going to keep our team together and strong through this? How are we going to come out on the other side of this and grow? Because we knew our camps were going to come back because people were going to be desperate for camp, to have human connection again after being locked away in isolation. So the conversations that resonated with me in that time period were the ones that I felt like the person I was talking to had experience that would be helpful to us. not just dollars. Everyone in this business has dollars to invest. They're dying on a vine to figure out where to put those dollars. I didn't need that. Dollars are helpful, but like really needed expertise, really needed people to talk to, really needed other entrepreneurs who had plateaued in their businesses perhaps and felt a yearning to grow beyond that, but didn't know how to do it. Who were the people I was talking to that I really believed could offer that to me? And those were the conversations that went somewhere.